Hey everybody, coming up on Sports Central, we have celebrities from the world of sports and from across the globe, but we're going to be talking about the Lake Mirror Auto Classic, the best of the best. Roller Derby, right here in Polk County, absolutely, and a World Championship boat race. Stick around everybody for this edition of Sports Central. Hey everybody, and welcome to Sports Central. I'm Mark Jackson. My co-host, to my right, to your left on your television viewing screen, Mr. Mark Zimmerman. Hey, we've got a great opportunity here in the state of Florida to enjoy a lifestyle that is second to none, arguably because tourism is our state's #1 industry. And this segment being brought to you by Visit Florida, the state of Florida's official tourism marketing arm, on track for 100 million visitors in 2014. Unbelievable, Mark.
It's a phenomenal number.
Yeah.
It's certainly the support of the governor has helped make that happen, and we're very happy to bring more tourists in. Obviously, that means more money for our state.
Well, you know, Governor Scott gets it. You know, he's been the tourism governor, just pumping billions of dollars into our economy. Consequently, we do not have a personal income tax. I love it. Great place to live in Florida. None better than Polk County, however. And we have some, I'm going to say, tremendous guests this week. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick it off with someone that you really should be, and probably are not, a stranger to. That's Ford Heacock. And Ford, funny story, before I formally introduce him, had this great idea for a classic car show. And it was going to be a one-day event and so on and so forth, and started working with Ford and some of his staff on growing this event. Ford has taken this event from a one-day event to a three-day event, and arguably the best car show in the southeastern United States. It is phenomenal, right down on Lake Mirror, and much of the action down there, the revenue is being generated to help the Lake Mirror Park area, which is on the National Historic Register, and it's just an unbelievable place. I hope I didn't take too much of your thunder, Ford. But we get excited about that stuff.
Way to talk about the whole event, Mark.
Yeah, there you go. You know, just like at home, man.
Well, thank you for the kind words, Mark.
You bet.
You know, there was an article in the Lakeland Ledger last week about Lake Mirror Park being recognized as one of the top 10 public venues in the nation. And that was very, very impressive.
Well, you know, when people come in and sports events or special events, could be meetings, conventions, and they see that park, it's just, really? That's here? You know,
Sure.
It's phenomenal. It's better than anything that,
well
arguably top 10.
And it's the reason that the Lake Mirror Classic Auto Festival has come to exist in downtown Lakeland. We're so proud of downtown and Lake Mirror Park in particular. Mm-hmm. This year's event will be our 15th. You know, you talked about when we started this thing off, and so this will be the 15th edition. We've grown now to in excess of 600 show cars and about 35,000 spectators. It's a free community event, and that just, you know, I think really works for downtown, brings a lot of people to downtown. They can enjoy the park, they can enjoy the restaurants and stores downtown. But we've become a fixture on the collector car calendar. Today we attract cars from all over the United States that are in Lakeland to be judged or to be displayed, and the event gets great remarks by everybody in the hobby. So I'm very proud of that.
I still remember the Batman.
Oh,
that Batmobile car. That was, you know, my my youngest son, Hunter. Yeah, I think it was Hunter, and he was just enthralled.
Mm-hmm.
And he just like, oh my gosh, that's Batman's car.
Yeah. One year we were doing the sponsor ribbons, and my oldest son and daughter were quite small, and they decided they wanted to give one to the Oscar Mayer Wiener to
good.
And they just loved that car. It was fabulous. But obviously, the event is great. We talked a little bit about Lake Mirror. But it really encompasses a lot more. So give us really an idea of the whole feel of where the event is.
The event started at Lake Mirror in 1999, and the first year we were just around Lake Mirror Park, but a couple of years later we grew to take over the streets of downtown. So we close off about an 8-block area of downtown Lakeland, and we show about 400 cars downtown. And it's all types of collector cars, muscle cars, street rods, Corvettes, Mustangs, you know, just a little bit of everything. And this year we're adding a new car section for area auto dealers. So we'll have about 60 or 70 new model cars on display as well.
Oh,
so you can come down and shop for that new Mustang.
That's, you know, I always have such a great time, you know, and there's so many people that you don't get to, you know, you see a ton of people, but if you want to have a conversation with an owner or whatever, very engaging. You know, you have questions about, well, where did you get this part, or you know, how did you do this? You can get your questions answered, and these people know what they're doing.
They do know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, we call this an auto festival because it's really a lot of activities that happen simultaneously. For instance, we've got a vintage fashion show that now takes place, sponsored by Citizens Bank. And that's a lot of fun. On Saturday at 1 o'clock, folks will be able to see the. By the way, we haven't talked about the dates, have we?
No.
We better get on that. You know, hey everybody.
It's October the 17th, which is a Friday. That opens on Friday night with the Budweiser Hot Rod Rendezvous in Lake Mirror Park only. But it's an outdoor concert, and it's an evening where we bring out all the hot rods and we show them off. And that's and then when the band takes their break, we let the cars start their motors. We call that the Hot Rod Rumble. So Friday night's a lot of fun. Then on Saturday is the main show, and it starts at 10 a.m. and runs until about 4 in the afternoon. And it's free to the public, and it's a great place to bring the family. The kids love it, as you talked about. And then, in addition to the fashion show, we have classic motorcycles, classic wooden boats, which I know are your love.
Oh yeah.
And,
is Duke Waldrop coming this year?
You know, I haven't heard from Duke yet, but he always surprises me by slipping in at the last minute. And we've added classic bicycles from the 1800s. So none of the bicycles are newer than 1900, and these are the high wheel bikes that are great to enjoy. And then on Sunday, the event concludes with a road tour. That's so that there's nothing happening downtown on Sunday, but about 75 of the show cars will take to the roads of Polk County and end up at a destination for lunch.
Wow, that is cool. Where are you heading this year?
Well, that's a top secret every
year.
That's
okay.
But I will say that it's got a fabulous new building that kind of has some features that open up at the top. Does that give it away?
Well, there's some great photos here of some of the things and some of the people that are going to be involved. And look at that old motorcycle.
Yep.
And what the heck is that?
Well, this is our high wheel bicycle. This is you know, I don't know bicycles well enough to tell you the name of it, but that's a fabulous bike. And then the Chris Craft boats. And but the crowd is just fabulous, and I really have to thank the over 200 volunteers that help put this event on every year. And the volunteers, on behalf of the volunteers, we have created a fund at the Community Foundation, the Give Well Community Foundation, called Friends of Lake Mirror. And through that fund, we're raising money through Lake Mirror Classic to create resources for the future needs of Lake Mirror Park. And I'm very proud of that. And already the fund is in excess of $100,000, and we hope this year to cross the $150,000. And someday, or you know, those funds will be needed as the park ages and needs to be retrofitted or refurbished.
Well, Ford, unlike you and I, we don't age.
Oh, yeah, right.
But the park still looks gorgeous. In fact, the week before the Lake Mirror Classic, we're going to be hosting a parade from the Lakeland Center down to the park for the opening ceremonies of the IPSC World Shoot, 88 countries.
Isn't it great to have an event that size in Polk County? That's just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. But I tell you what's even better is the fact that we have your event going on at the same time. Yeah. So it gives those people who are coming here the ability to go see a fantastic event and see what everything that our county is about.
Sure, that's right. You know, I hadn't really thought about the fact that many of them may want to come visit our show.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that, you know, there's going to be some good crossover there. or crossover there, one of the things that we will do is we'll go to the car show, and if you get hot, if it's, you know, for whatever reason, you go down to Harry's, you can go down to Subway, you can go to Crispers, wherever you want to go, you know, and patronize and visit the downtown shops. So downtown Lakeland, certainly I know really benefits from what you guys are doing, because it's just a good opportunity to see what else is going on down there. And then the farmers market is down there on Saturday.
There's a lot going on.
It's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
It's going to be a zoo.
There's a lot going on. and all the restaurants partner with us in a wonderful way. They feed the car owners, and through a partnership that we have with them, we have a little trade out. And so everybody that enters the car show gets lunch for 2 people.
Wow. Hey, if it's free, it's for me, right?
That's right.
That's all great stuff. The cars this year, you know, you talked a little bit about the hot rods. We saw a few pictures up there. Any really like Rolls-Royce type category, you know, those old...
Well, we always have...
I mean, it's an existing brand, but they have the old... You've had some of that before.
We do, and we always have a collection of wonderful classics, as they're called. I think the showstopper this year is a 1938 Bugatti Type 57, which is a long, sleek, elegant classic car that will just blow your socks off, and it's in jet black and so photogenic. People are going to walk by that car and just stop in their tracks. It's going to be fabulous. We also have a concept car coming that was built in 1953 for Cadillac called the Elegante. It was never manufactured as a production car, and it's just finished restoration, so this will be its only 2nd public showing. And so we always have a few surprises in the field that are exotic and just cars you don't see anywhere else.
You know, he keeps more secrets than the NSA. You know,
Always surprised.
We won't go there, folks. Well, Ford, wow, thanks so much. And again, everybody, it's October 16th and 17th through the 19th. I'll get my days straight.
At some point you'll get it right. Yeah,
we'll get that straight. But Ford, is there a website people can go check out?
There is, and let me add that Jack Telnack is our guest of honor this year. Jack may not be a household name like some of the famous race car drivers that we've invited, but Jack is the retired head of design from Ford Motor Company. And the reason he's our guest this year is we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Ford Mustang, and we'll have a lot of fabulous Mustangs on display. But the website for more information is simply lakemirrorclassic.com.
Okay.
Lake Mirror is in the glass type of mirror.
Yeah.
Lake Mirror Classic, no spaces, no dots, lakemirrorclassic.com.
Very, very good. Ford, thanks a million.
Thank you, Mark.
It's always a pleasure, and I always look forward to having you on because, you know, the secrets that I can't find out until I get to the show. I mean, that's that's good stuff. Once again, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, everybody, you know, we go from the best car show in the Southeast to a unique event for Polk County, and it's called Corn Fusion. I'm a little confused myself. Check this out, Mark and Mark, the Marx Brothers. We'll be back. Stick around, everybody.
Welcome to the Corn Maze Corn Fusion here in Lakeland, Florida. There's so much going on with the band behind us and the hayride going around us. Let's go check out the action for all these families to enjoy. We're here on the Smith Family Ranch with Ted, the owner. Can you tell us what's going on here today?
Yeah, we're having the corn maze. It's Corn Fusion Corn Maze. It's an 8-acre maze. It's the 2nd year we're doing it, and it's been really good so far.
Now, what can a family who's coming out, just hearing about it for the first time, expect to see and do here?
Well, we have a hayride, takes you around the farm, shows you the different kinds of cattle we have. We have some Watusi cows, we have a bison buffalo. We have 5 acres of olive trees we planted. Hopefully one day they'll produce oil. If it does work, then we'd actually be able to bottle it here on the own property, extra virgin olive oil, so we could label it. They'll take the hayride. There's a mini maze for the little kids. There's the 8-acre maze. There's a corn box, got 2.5 tons of whole corn, field corn, like you feed cattle, kids play in. Then there's a bounce pillow behind us over there that they play on, and there's a corn cannon that shoots tennis balls and water bottles. And then at night, we have a zombie paintball ride where you can go shoot zombies off of a hayride trailer with paintballs.
Okay, here we are. We're gonna get some corn because it's featured here. Of course, being a corn maze, you can get roasted corn or roasted peanuts or boiled peanuts. So here we go. Can I have 1 corn, please? Okay, thanks so much. How many people do you expect throughout the time that you're open?
The first couple of weekends, we probably had maybe on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we probably had maybe 3,000 to 4,000 over the weekend. This weekend's been a little slower. I think it does better if it's in September than October. I think after Halloween, things just seem to go off a little bit on this. As far as where people came from, we've had them from Titusville, Orlando. We had a church youth group from the Keys down at Marathon came in. Pretty well everywhere, because mostly, I guess, because we were the first one in this area to do one.
Okay, here we are with the family, the Kennys, and just want to get your take on the event today.
It was fun. We had a good time with the hayride and the other rides, and good food, good music. It was a good time.
Was this your first time?
Yes, it was.
Here we are at the Butterfly and Gardens Experience. Let's go take a look. So what did you think about today?
We had a great time. We plan on coming back when they do the Christmas event as well.
Okay, wonderful. And this little guy got his face painted. What is it supposed to be?
Captain America.
Oh, Captain America. Awesome. I'm here at the concession stand. I just ordered a snow cone. So we're going to watch these girls do it up for us. Tastes like bubble gum.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Sports Central. Man, I'm hungry now. That was snow cones, corn.
Yeah,
how do you cook your corn?
Well, we had quite the conversation during the break there about how to cook corn. We usually grill ours or bake it with the husk on. But you came up with a great way to cook your corn.
Yeah, well, it's really simple. If you're not going to cook it with the husk on, but I do have to say, and this is very family oriented, this segment's being brought to us by Legoland, Florida. Just rocking and rolling right now.
Awesome place to go.
Unbelievable. Anyway, you take your corn, okay? This isn't a cooking show, by the way, but maybe we ought to start one. I'd love to do that. Take the fat end right here. Okay, and then this is the skinny end with the husk or with the tassel on it. Okay, and you take a knife and you slice off the end. Okay, now this all has the husk on it and everything. You grab it by the end where the tassel is. Okay, you hold it up and everything will just drop out, and it's the fastest way to shuck corn.
Surely makes it a lot easier. I know my kids will be happy.
Better get them to watch this show to learn something from Mr. Jackson.
Hopefully they're in school, not watching this, learning something educational.
Well, on re-airs, maybe they can catch one of those. Hey, everybody, we're getting a little off track here, but that's okay. If you're just joining us, shame on you. I'm Mark Jackson. To my right is Mark Zimmerman. That's to your left, for those of you that are directionally impaired. But we are going to talk something that is really, really unique. It's really kind of a cool sport, and a lot of us that were I was probably still in diapers back in those days.
Sure.
But, yeah. When roller derby was like one of the hottest things going. And, you know, guys, girls, but we have female roller derby right here in Polk County. Our guest, Shelley Rossetter. I got that right, didn't I?
You did. Good job.
Well, thank you very much. And for those of you that would like to know, Shelley is from Michigan originally. Another Detroit Tigers fan, moving down, and now you're here in Lakeland, Florida.
Yes.
So talk to us about the Lakeland Derby Dames. Did I get that right?
Yeah, the Lakeland Derby Dames.
Okay.
We've been around since 2011. So
wow, 3 years?
Yeah, we've been here for a few years, and we're just finishing up our latest season. But it's a team of about 20 skaters, all women. We skate flat track style derby.
Versus the banked.
Versus the banked. So what you might remember was probably banked, and what you might remember was also staged a lot of times, you know, like the fighting and the elbows and all that. Well, this is much more of a serious sport now, and with rules and no punching.
Okay.
Fortunately. And we play out at Sun and Fun, out at an airplane hangar out there.
Hangar E.
Hangar E. Yes.
Okay.
So each of your competitions is referred to as a bout.
Yes.
So give us some of the details and the rules of how does roller derby work?
Okay, so it's a little bit confusing, but I'll try. So yes, each game is called a bout. They're 60 minutes long, 2 30-minute halves. Each 2 minutes on the track is called a jam. When a new jam starts, 4 blockers from each team go out and a jammer from each team. It is the blockers' job to stop the opposing team's jammer from getting around them. On the first, they have to make it through 1 pass, the jammer, and on the second pass, they start to score points for each blocker that they pass.
Okay.
Keeping up?
Yep. Sure. Yeah. You know, that's.
And so along the way, the blockers are, you know, hitting with their arms, shoulders, hips, trying to get the jammer out and stop them from scoring points.
Now, you don't look like a roller derby person.
Yeah, none of us really, you know, in our day-to-day lives look like we would play roller derby. It's like our secret.
So well, what is your position?
Yeah.
I do a little bit of everything out on the track.
Okay.
So.
What's your favorite position?
Probably I'm just learning how to jam, so it's fun. It's a challenge.
Okay.
It's a little scary.
You get a few bruises along the way?
A few bruises.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing serious?
You know, not too bad. There's every once in a while some injury, but.
You're a jock now, and were you a jock in did you play soccer or?
No, not
baseball,
really.
football, softball?
I run a little bit for fun, and you know, I was like a cheerleader in high school, so not really.
So you go from cheerleader into roller derby. How did that all happen? I mean, you just don't wake up one morning and go, wow, I think I'm going to try roller derby today.
Well, actually, I kind of did.
Okay.
So, you know, a few years ago, there was a popular movie called Whip It, and if you haven't seen it, it was a good movie. It had Drew Barrymore in it. You know, I saw it with my friends and thought, well, that looks cool. And then I kind of just randomly happened to meet the person who coaches our team. And she was like, you can come join us, try it, see if you like it. And from there, I just kind of stayed.
Wow.
So you guys have an event coming up. So let's get some information before we lose time. We want to make sure everybody knows about what's coming up. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yes. So the best way to learn about roller derby is to come watch. So we have our last bout of this season is on October 12th. We open our doors at 5:30. The event starts at 6. It's $10 to get in. Kids under 7 are free. So it is a family fun event. This bout, at halftime, we have like a Halloween costume contest and a cakewalk happening. And we play a team from Pinellas. So
how many teams are there in Florida?
Oh, I am not sure how many, but there are definitely a lot. It's a pretty big sport that no one has heard about, basically.
Is it like league play, or do you have like teams that come in for a tournament? I mean, how does this? I mean, it's not something you pick up, you know, the newspaper and go, oh, geez, you know, the Lakeland roller dames are, you know, rocking and rolling this weekend. Let's go check it out.
Yeah, so we kind of do a bit of league style play with, we pick the teams that we kind of want to play and invite them to come play us, and we travel to them. But there's also tournaments. Tampa does a big tournament every year called Frankie Panky, and that brings in teams from all across the United States.
Frankie Panky?
Yes, I'm not sure on the origins of the name. So.
Okay.
But you know, there's a women's flat track association, and we play by those rules. And so do most of the other teams in the state.
So this is the last bout of your season.
Yes.
What does the season normally run, and about how many bouts do you all participate in?
Our season is about 10 months long, so you have no excuse not to make it to one game. And we play about 2 games a month, so about 20 games a season. So if you can't make it to this last one, we will start up again in January. So.
Okay. Well, we got to get you back on so we can, you know, kind of kick off your season.
Yes,
But you're on a radio show too. But, you know, there's a lot of people that would really be interested, and it's just females, right?
Yep. We are all females that skate, but we welcome men to help come volunteer and be referees. We need people to skate and be referees, and to also be non-skating officials. So.
What's illegal? So if they have referees, they're going to make a decision about.
There is a penalty box.
Oh, you have a penalty box?
Yes. So obviously you can't do any of the outright punching in the face kind of thing, but you know, there's illegal ways to hit. You can't hit someone in the back. You know, you can't turn around and skate the other way and hit somebody. So there's a lot of rules, but it's fun.
Shelley, how much time have you spent in the penalty box?
I mean, usually at least like once a game, which is pretty minimum, I think.
How many people are on your team?
We have about 20 skaters, and then a whole bunch of like a dozen other people who help out.
Really?
Yep. And we're also trying to get started with Junior Derby.
Oh, so for the little kids.
Yep, for just October 13th, we're having another information session, so that if any parents are interested, we're going to try to set up a league with ages 7 to 17, boys and girls, to learn the art of derby and become the next Lakeland Derby Dame.
Do you have a website people can go to and get more information, check out all the players and stuff?
Yep, it's lakelandrollerderby.com, and we're also on Facebook if you type in Lakeland Derby Dames.
LakelandDerbyDames.com?
It's lakelandrollerderby.com.
Okay.
And then Lakeland Derby Dames on Facebook.
On Faceplace.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Mark's still a little social media challenged.
No, I'm not. I'm okay with social media. I'm not that bad. Social media guru. Well, taking a look at next season, okay, do you have your schedule out? So, you know, people can go, wow, I'm in town that week or that weekend or whatever the day may be, and or will that be set over the course of the next couple of months?
Yeah, I think it's being finalized right now, and we'll post it on our website and on Facebook when we're done. But we're pretty excited for next season, because this season so far we've played 11 wins and only 2 losses. So
you guys are good.
So we're pretty good. We try, and so we're hoping next year will be even better.
So does it end after the season, or is there advancement? Do you go on to play elsewhere?
Not currently. There's not kind of a tournament set up right now, but that could happen in the future as more people get involved and get more fans and get some more support. So.
That's cool stuff. Yeah,
it's pretty neat.
Check the fans. You have snacks?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
snacks,
well, you just got Mark.
Yes, I'm ready to rock and roll now. That's some good stuff. You know, it'd be neat to have some. Get some celebrity skaters out there, like maybe Jen Lee, or maybe a commissioner or a city commissioner or whatnot, and.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would enjoy that.
I think it would be kind of an exciting little opportunity there. If you were to, sum up the. I've got to be careful on how I phrase this, but in terms of the safety of the sport, how do you handle all of that? I mean, there's obviously, it's a contact sport.
Yes.
And, of course, you have soccer and basketball, both contact sports to some degree. Is relatively safe?
Yes, we take a lot of precautions. We wear a lot of gear, safety gear. We wear helmets, mouth guards, wrist guards, knee pads, elbow pads. You know,
Okay.
so we're pretty. It doesn't really hurt to fall. When you see us fall, it's not that big deal. We got a lot of padding, and that's why there's so many rules. And you know, the reason for the penalty box is to make sure that we're safe.
We only got just a few seconds left here, but the women that are participating, you said are professionals and they're just kind of a mixture. Give us some examples.
Yes, we have on our team teachers, lawyers, nurses, any professional person that you kind of see out could really be a derby girl. So, yep.
There you have it. We've got some people I think we're going to be recommending to Lakeland Derby dames. I got that right.
Yes,
okay.
And we always love new people. So
fantastic. Shelley, that's some cool stuff. I learned something here today. Of course, you know.
That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I certainly hope you enjoyed it. And Shelley, thanks so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it, and we look forward to getting you back before the start of next season.
Yes.
I think that that would be an opportunity, particularly for some of our northern visitors, to enjoy some activities, and our citizens, of course, that you don't get a chance to see everywhere.
Yes.
Great stuff. Thank you so much again. Well, everybody, we have kind of another unique industry, if you will, here in Polk County. And it's called radio control planes or aircraft, if you will. There's a gentleman by the name of Frank Tiano that just does an unbelievable job. Moved his business from West Palm all the way up here to Polk County to be in Lakeland because of the people and the reception that he received. And you know, working with Frank over 15 years now, something like that. He just has some great events. One of those events, monster planes, believe it or not. You're going to have to check this out to find out what I'm talking about, and then we'll be back after this. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is Christopher Gunter. I'm here at beautiful Lakeland, Florida for Monster Planes 2012. This here is my F-22 Raptor built from kit. It is the United States frontline fighter, and as far as I'm concerned, the best fighter ever made. And has a top speed of right around 175, 180 miles an hour. And it's powered by a real jet turbine running on Jet A. And has thrust vectoring just like the real one, retractable gear, and air brake. The aircraft is controlled by a Futaba 2.4 gigahertz radio. It's pretty similar to what your cell phone works off of. The range on it is probably, well, it's a little further than we could see, and I'd actually never fly it that far. And altitudes can go further than I could see also. You know, I normally fly pretty low, and I sometimes get up to around 1,000 feet and then bring her back down. So it's very, very important. Safety is always the biggest factor with these. I've been coming to this event for about 2 or 3 years now, and I've also been coming to the other events, Florida Jets and every other event Frank puts on here at Paradise Field for at least 3 to 4 years, and it's a joy being over here in Lakeland. And it's a beautiful place to fly, beautiful airport. It's just a real joy to be over here at Lakeland flying.
Hey everybody, and this is Sports Central. I'm Mark Jackson. To my right, Mark Zimmerman. And this segment's being brought to us by Bright House Networks, our good friends over there, Drew Gillen and the crew, and we certainly appreciate their support.
Great community partners.
Oh, they do a lot, give back to the community as well. And you know the monster planes, these guys are putting parts into a bag. You know, but those things are big, and they had an F-22 there. I saw that.
Yeah.
And
I always feel like I could get on one and go for a ride.
Oh,
they're so big.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I don't think that's probably possible.
No, probably not. But those things, they fly.
They do. And when
I mean speed, not necessarily.
Yeah, and when you catch a good picture of them, they look
you
like
can't tell.
Real planes. Yeah, you can't tell the difference.
F-22. Well, speaking of hot rods and fast things, which we have to some degree today, or pretty much all or in part, boat racing. Love boat racing. Have ever since I was a little kid. We have World Championships coming up.
We do.
And two guys are going to tell us about it. R.C. Howie, Gary Levine. Gentlemen, glad to have you.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So you've got an event coming up. It's October 17th through the 19th. It's like we have more international events in Polk County that week than anywhere else, and probably the state combined.
It's a busy week.
We certainly do. You have the international shoot.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have our world-class boat racing. It's going to be a busy weekend, plus with the Lake Mirror show. Ours is, of course, October 17th to the 19th. It's to benefit the Lake Alfred Lions Club for their youth programs. We've got close to 30 teams coming from Europe alone. The containers should be here Wednesday of the week of the race.
How many teams from Europe?
Approximately 30 teams.
Wow.
And they ship their boats over in containers.
Containers.
Wow.
That's the easy part. The hard part is I'm the one that usually climbs the ladder with the crane gets there to unload the containers. But it's a heck of a show. We've got teams coming from as far as Seattle, Washington, New England, Connecticut, Massachusetts. And as far as the racing itself, I'll leave that to RC because he's been on the water and he's probably one of the few I know that actually landed on the shore of Lake Alfred 1 year before his boat did.
Well, RC's a world champion, am I
correct?
No, I'm not.
I thought you were. I'm sorry.
I never won a Worlds. National championships, yes.
But weren't you a record holder, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Close enough, as far as I'm concerned. It's all good.
So tell us a little bit more about the event. I mean, obviously, you know, we know it's boat racing, but kind of go into a little more detail about what goes on during it, how it kind of rolls and functions.
Well, the format is a 4-heat format. You run 2 heats Saturday, 2 heats Sunday, and you take your 3 best heats. So you get to throw out your worst heat. Perfectly, you win the 2 heats on Saturday, the 1 heat on Sunday morning, and you're the world championship. You don't have to race anymore. They're running for second place. Okay, so that's the basic format. There'll be different laps for the different classes because some are UIM, which is Union of International Motorboating. That's going to be the 125 and the 250s.
250.
Right? And then the 175 hydros, the 1100 hydros, and the 500 runabouts are APBA classes, American Powerboat Association. recognized by the UAM for a world championship. Now, they're going to be doing the clock starts, which is the first time we've done that in this country since like 1978.
Clock? What is the clock start?
There's a giant clock, about 6 foot in diameter. Green flag goes up, you have 2 minutes to get on the course and mill around.
Okay.
At 1 minute, a white flag goes up, the clock starts around 60 seconds. And you have to come around the turn, and everybody's jockeying for the inside or the outside, wherever the position they want to be. And the object is to hit the starting line when the clock hits 0. If you're early, you're disqualified, no points, you're out. If you're late, you got to play catch up, and that's tough to do.
Wow.
The other 2 classes are going to be doing, they call it a Le Mans start or a jetty start. They will be lined up, they'll pull for positions.
Okay.
Lined up on the shoreline. They have a countdown to 30 seconds, and it gets quiet. And then there comes a point in time in that 30 seconds, he can drop the flag at any time. They pull the rope, and the boats take off. And
Literally pull a rope.
It's amazing. These Europeans have figured this out. They'll be on plane in 2 boat lengths. It's amazing how quick they'll jump up on plane.
Now, they trim up with these, or are they just are they static? They fixed?
Actually, most of them have an up and down.
Okay.
They do trim up.
Oh, okay.
The motor itself can be moved down to get on plane and bring it up to racing height.
Okay.
And it's just amazing how quick they can get on plane.
And the Europeans have got it down, huh?
Oh, no. Because our country, we usually use clock starts.
Okay. So the Europeans are more Le Mans start.
They've got probably 2 generations of boat racers that never seen a clock start because they don't use it in Europe anymore.
This will be a first for them this year to see the clock start. You know, City Lake Alfred was gracious enough in 2008 and in 2010 to let Race for the Kids host the Worlds. And they're gracious again. I thank the city commissioners and the city staff for allowing us to be there. Hopefully this is going to be the year that we come off the jetty better than the Europeans.
Well, I know that and I know her very well because we used to ski together.
I know, Nancy
and we're
Daly.
doubles partners together, Nancy Daly. Been friends for 30-some years. And she's done a great job as mayor of Lake Alfred.
Yes, she has.
And I always had to treat Nancy very, very nicely because her husband, Russell, was my boat driver at Cypress Gardens. And so if I didn't want to hit that ski jump doing about 100 miles an hour, I made sure I was always nice to Nancy. And by the way, Russell is one of our cameramen here and involved with PGTV for years. But funny story there, but what a great venue. I mean, you guys really have to be pleased with the way the city of Lake Alfred, Mayor Daley and Commissioner Ed Smith and then the rest of them just rolled out the red carpet. I mean, it's been phenomenal.
It has been, and you know, and of course, Polk County Sports Marketing being a big benefactor for us.
Well, it works
not
out
that I want
great.
to give you the plug, but yeah, it works out real good.
a lot of heads.
We
and
appreciate
beds.
that.
I remember the first time I heard that expression was from Mark Zimmerman, heads in beds, and I'm going, wow. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's all about putting those people in those beds. Hopefully they spend more money in our county. One of the things, we talked a lot about the classes and the boats, but RC, I know you brought a picture of one of the boats with you, so you want to grab that just because we want to see kind of what we're talking about. Is that if you haven't seen these boats, this is really kind of a good description of it. So kind of run that through. That I'm assuming a picture of you.
Yes. This is a 500cc runabout.
How fast does a 500cc boat like that go?
Almost 100.
Really?
Yeah. When this picture was taken, it was probably doing 95-ish.
Yeah. That already made Russell Daly mad. That's about how fast I'd be skiing around the show circle. But that is some cool stuff. Now, the helmets, safety is a big deal for you guys. I know that. And you have some pretty strict rules on what you can and can't do, and you have safety divers and all of that type of stuff, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a full safety crew out there.
And we
EMTs, divers.
And we have paramedics on the rescue boats. We have 2 rescue boats, 2 ambulance boats on the water, and there's paramedics on the water.
Yeah, the rescue boat is specially made. It's got a Stoats basket that can go overboard, sink in the water. You float the driver into the basket and then pull him out of the water and head straight towards the ambulance.
Really?
Yeah.
So
they're specially made, custom made. Usually us racers make them.
Okay.
Because we have fabricators amongst us.
I can imagine, based on the boats I've seen.
Really no place to go to say, I need to buy a rescue boat.
Well, even the boats themselves, if you look at the power plant, you know, in that picture that you showed, you've got these stacks coming out the back, you know, and it's not like you can go down to your local marine dealer and say, hey, just throw one of those on the back of a hydroplane. This is all custom stuff.
Yes. Yeah, this is really handmade, specific for racing. They're not a modified anything, not a modified Evinrude or Mercury or any of the others. These are specially built. They're like IndyCar engines.
Okay.
And they actually run on methanol and castor oil for a lubricant.
Castor oil?
Yeah.
Yeah, regular old castor oil.
Your mom ever make you take some of that when you were a kid?
No, we always used it in race motors.
It's too valuable, right?
Yeah.
That's where the term ADHD came from.
Yeah.
You know, kids that had too much castor oil. I guess that's castor.
Yes. Yeah. So guys, real quick,
Sort of like
we talked a lot about we talked a lot about the different aspects of racing and things like that. But let's kind of hit on the event again real quick. You know, if people want to come out and see it, what do they need to do? Give us the times.
The times are Friday 10 to 5, Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday 10 to 5 also, but we will not crank up an engine till noontime on Sunday. Parking is $5. There's plenty of parking. Parking is at the Lake Alfred Lions Club, which is adjoining Lake Alfred itself, the lake itself, Lake Alfred. We're going to have vendors. There'll be food. It'll be a fun time. I mean, you know, you're going to look at boats in the water. You look at the 1100s doing 125 mile an hour down the backstretch. It's going to be really a fun weekend.
Well, I tell you guys, you know, I know Mark feels the same way, but you guys bring an awful lot to the table to Polk County, and we certainly appreciate it. And I know the county commissioners and the Tourist Development Council just think it's awesome. And so we appreciate everything you guys do. And the race is for the kids.
Well, it's hosted by Race for the Kids, and we started that to raise money for different venues where kids are involved. It really started with the 3 hurricanes, raising money for a camp for special needs children that got devastated by the 3 hurricanes.
Wow, great stuff. Gary, RC, we didn't even talk about what RC stands for because I was told not to. So I won't bring that up, everybody. So thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Look forward to another fantastic event. And ladies and gentlemen, you got to go. Take the family. They have great snacks. They have superb 100-mile-an-hour plus racing, albeit on the water. This is a world's championship, so make sure you check this out. Speaking of fast starting and you know, just great things, there's a gentleman that goes to high school at Lakeland Christian School, LCS, and he is a star quarterback, throwing for 233 yards in a victory, 51-point victory over Avon Park. It was impressive. Well, this kid has started at quarterback for 5 years, ever since he was in 8th grade. His name is Christian Alexander. Check this out, everybody. One more segment to go, and we'll be back.
That's why we play the game, for those type of games, those hard, tough games that it's going to come down to the last possession of the game. You know, we practice so hard all summer long.
We would have been in trouble this year without Christian Alexander. We've really had to throw the ball. He has been, and it makes it tough when you're throwing it and teams know you have to throw it. And he's just been phenomenal. He's been everything we've expected of him, and he's been our leader this year, there's no doubt.
As a quarterback, you have to be the leader on and off the field, no matter what. You know, as the quarterback, you know, he's the head of everything. You know, he has to lead the team, you know, be that guy, you know, to direct things and take control. just I just want my team to know that I'm always with them. And, even if I'm not on the field on defense, I just want them to know that I'm cheering them on. I'm trying to pump them up and get them ready. I started as an 8th grader, and I've just grown ever since. At first I didn't know like defenses and things like that, but ever since then I've just grown and matured, and I think I've come a long way. My senior year means everything. It's our last chance, to make it to the playoffs and get over that hump, and it just means everything. And after this I'll start my next chapter, but right now I'm just focused on my team, and it's gonna be a good season. Right now I've committed to FIU, and so I'm going to continue playing football there, and I'm going to be a business major, and so I just plan on doing that. For every home game, we go to Fred's, we eat and everything, then we come back and get taped, and I just listen to music. I get my devotional book, and I just read that, and I just pray to God, and that's about it. I like some country music and some Christian rap and things like that. I don't know, just ever since I came here, I just fell in love with country music. He's helped me with so much. He's been there for me on and off the field with everything, and I just love him. My dad, and he's been a role model for me, and just going home to him every day, just giving me pep talks and things like that. He just motivates me to be better and be the best I can be.
I think the best way to describe him is as a father of a daughter. I mean, he's the kind of guy that you want your daughter to marry one day. He's conscientious, he's moral, he's honest, he's a good man.
Christian Alexander, quarterback at Lakeland Christian.
And we're back, everybody. Fourth segment of Sports Central. Mark Jackson along with Mark Zimmerman, and this segment's being brought to us by Bright House was last time.
Segment,
there
yes.
we go. Hall Communications, if you will. And what a great group of folks over there. WPCV, WONN.
Yes, yeah, you were over there last night. How'd the radio show go?
The radio show went really, really well. We had two guests with me, of course, Justin and Chad Aiken, and it was a real delight. We had a great time, and a lot of NFL, a lot of college football discussions.
Well, that's certainly the time of the year, isn't it? Speaking of football, how about those highlights from Lakeland Christian and Christian Alexander?
I didn't know that kid was that good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's thrown like 83 touchdown passes in his career.
Yep.
I mean, he's close to a record, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very close. He got 9 more. He'll break the record held by David Bowden. David went to Kathleen, one of our Hall of Famers, which is pretty good. He's also coached by Wayne Peace, one of our Hall of Famers. So it's really it's
strategic advantage.
He just broke in that game last week. He broke the yardage record for the county, also held by David Bowden. It was pretty good back in the 60s.
Wow, that's something else, especially the run and gun these days.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, to have that record hold up for that long, and now certainly breaking that record is pretty impressive.
Yeah, good-looking kid, and he spoke well, and
yep.
He's on his way.
Yeah, they play. I don't think they played this week, but they're playing on the 10th against Williston. They have 5 more games. They're 5-1 right now, looking like they're having a good season.
Whew, man. Got some talent in this county, and it's just unbelievable. But the football talent, you start taking a look back history-wise, it's phenomenal.
Yes, yeah, some
kind
great athletes come out of Polk County.
Unusual, is extremely unusual.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't even hear about them. They end up going to, because the football here and in the state of Florida is so good, a lot of these kids end up going out of state, and then you kind of lose track of them a little bit. They end up in the NFL, and all of a sudden you hear kids from Lakeland or Frostproof or Winter Haven, and you didn't even realize they were gone.
Yeah. Yeah, some really good stuff. Well, speaking of good stuff, the IPSC, this is sort of our local update, if you will. And ladies and gentlemen, you got to pay attention here, and you've got to listen, and you better write it down, because there is so much going on in the month of October. It is scary. That's probably why Halloween concludes the month, because it is a scary month when it comes to the number of events. And we talked, to 3 folks, our 3 guests today, about the events that they are hosting and involved in. I mean, Mark, it's like this is Sports Central, no pun intended. Yeah, wow. But it really is for the state of Florida in October.
Yeah, I think our staff's worked really hard on bringing more events in, on continuing to put those heads in beds like we talked about, and you know, make people recognize what Polk County is here for, and we certainly love hosting sporting events. Certainly, Mark, you mentioned the biggest one, the International Practical Shooting Confederation, holding their World Shoot. This event's only held once every 3 years, hasn't been in the United States since 1986, being held at Universal Shooting Academy in Frostproof. Frank Garcia and his staff, not only are they world-renowned shooters, but they put on some great events, and we're very excited to host that event. Really, the one that our viewers should know about, what they really want to attend, though, is the opening ceremony at Lake Mirror Park on
downtown Lakeland.
Downtown Lakeland. It's a fantastic. It'll be Olympics-style parade of countries. You know, 70 to 80 countries represented, carrying their flags,
the whole deal.
They're actually going to parade all the way through downtown with some local bands and some dignitaries and some classic cars as well. So we're very excited about that. There's going to be a fireworks show. There's going to be a flyover. There's a water ski show. So
First time in history on
Lake Mirror. That's right.
That would be interesting.
We are very excited about that, and that's really, we hope that the community comes out and shows the support and shows these athletes that they love having events in Polk County.
It is phenomenal, and the International IPSC stands for International Practical Shooting Confederation, and you know, it's like it is the international governing body for this sport, and this is truly the Super Bowl of shooting sports. This is 80-some countries coming in, top shooters in the world. I mean, Polk County is going to be a safe place to be during that week, and actually, Mark, some of the activity starts out this weekend.
Yeah, there's a pre-shoot going on that starts out with the registrations this weekend, and then they'll be shooting all week this upcoming week at Universal Shooting Academy. Of course, we've had people in town gearing up for this event, doing training and seminars, range officers, all kinds of people in for several weeks. Yeah. But it's some of the dignitaries from IPSC as well in town have been in for several weeks as well. So we're very excited about it. And then the shoot itself goes through the 19th. Okay. And really, if you want more information, go to worldshootusa.com. That will provide all the information on where you can go, where you can get your badge, where you can get a ticket to get in if you want to see the shooting competition. If you want to just come to the opening ceremony, that's free, that's open to the public. And we really would love everybody's support.
Well, it's down at the Universal Shooting Academy, which is where?
It is in Frostproof, yeah, yep, it's in Frostproof, but that's great. It's it's going to be a lot of people coming into Frostproof, patronizing their businesses. So we're very excited about that.
What's this restaurant, Frostproof, that the staff and IPSC?
I didn't get a chance to go to it. I wasn't.
Some restaurant.
Roscoe's, I believe it was. Is what they said it was the other day. But I didn't get a chance to go. I had to leave.
Oh, there's raving about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, Frostproof's a cool place, everybody. Got to check that out. And when you go to the event, make sure you save some time to head into town. And of course, Fort Meade's right there, and historic Fort Meade, and some other communities in and around there, Homeland Park, and it's a great place to be a Polk County citizen.
Really, it is.
It really is. It's phenomenal stuff. Well, there is so much else going on. We talked about the Lake Mirror Auto Classic, which is coming up the 17th through the 19th, the World Championship boat racing, and
I'm not sure we're going to have time to talk about everything that's going on.
I don't think we are. I mean,
there's so many events that we have going on. Softball events, baseball events, running events coming up. I know Ten Rock High School is holding a breast cancer awareness. They're actually doing it's a color run. You can get all pinked up. Oh. So I know you're going to be right out there, Mark, getting the pink powder thrown on you.
I'm all over that, everybody.
But there is definitely a lot of events going on. Certainly check out our website, centralfloridasports.com. You can get all the list of events there. Well,
you've got a couple of folks we need to, I keep pointing at your sheet, which I shouldn't be doing now, should I? But that's okay. Hey, everybody, we really have an awful lot of people to thank, and certainly, first and foremost, the great staff at PGTV and some great directors, producers here. We certainly appreciate it, and as citizens, I certainly hope, and visitors, we hope you appreciate it as well. Well, our next live show is going to be October 17th. This show, if you'd like to get a re-air or check out a re-air, if you will air daily on the following dates and times. And Mark, people can also go to centralfloridasports.com. Well, this is Mark Jackson. For Mark Zimmerman and the rest of the crew at PGTV, we'll see you again next time.